Since 2015, it's been our pleasure entertaining you. From brass commentary, controversial interviews, and sexy cave crushes, we have given you our all. We've seen other shows come and watched them go. But Inside the Cave is still here. Inside the Cave. Thought-provoking ignorance. Guaranteed.
Thought-provoking ignorance with special guests and Cave Crush interviews. It's time to go inside the cave.
Lee Films.
All right, did you miss us? Welcome back Inside the Cave, InsideTheCavePodcast.com, CaveCrushShop.com. Thank you, everybody who's been listening to us. Thank you, all those new subscribers in Texas in particular. Houston, thank you, everybody who's been listening to us. Thanks to everybody listening to our interview with the Gossiping Heifers. Thank you to the Gossiping Heifers just for showing love. And just met them. You know what I'm saying? I was a fan, just a fan. And they showed us mad love, invited us on their show. And one of the ladies said the show did real good on her end as well. So thank you to everybody, man. Everybody who's crossed over from their platform to ours and vice versa. You know, I appreciate that. Welcome to Inside the Cave. I am CB at I'm the Real CB. And next to me today, he's known for having a country rap tune, Big Dawg.
What's up with it, man? It's been a minute.
We back. The Cleves Report podcast, Cleves Report on Instagram, Roland.
What it do? Been getting that feedback. My fans miss me, so I had to come out of hibernation. What's going on? Ready to get some controversy started and piss some people off.
Let's do it. All right. Once again, shout out to everybody listening to us, though, in Texas. I do want to say that new subscribers everywhere. This is what I want you to do. If you are a new subscriber, and I know I don't say I know who you are, but I know what area you are in, California and Texas. Seriously. Send us an email, especially Texas. Send us an email. Just saying who you are. InsideTheCavePodcast@gmail.com. Just send us an email saying, hey, I'm whoever. I listen to the show, and we'll send you a shirt. Simple. All right. Now I can't promise the shirt's gonna come right away, but you send us an email, we send you a shirt. It's simple, just like that. All right. Send us an email, and we'll send you a shirt. All right. That's all I ask. I just want to know who the subscribers are. We'll send you an insight. Matter of fact, you can pick what shirt you want from CaveCrushShop.com. We want to just acknowledge our new listeners. All right, I know we got a bunch of them. I just seen it. So please send us your, and that's not just California and Texas, but you know, I think I saw Louisiana and some shit like that. Like, just send us an email. That's all I ask. Send us an email. New York, send us an email. InsideTheCavePodcast@gmail.com. All right. If I can ever get in touch with Mike again, I'm gonna try to get this survey. I saw we had a survey by it's one of these other podcast feeds that feature us, had a survey on their website. I can't remember which website it was, but I'm gonna try to get that set up on our site too, so then we can really keep a good data on who's listening to us. All right. First of all, we also want to say happy birthday to the co-host of this show, the only woman allowed inside the cave, Kat. Happy birthday, Kat. Kat has been with us since 2016, and she is definitely appreciated on this show. Would you guys like to say some great things about Kat? Let our listeners know, our new listeners know, how important Kat is to this podcast. Don't all run to the stage at once.
Happy birthday, Kat. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Even you, dog, you appreciate it too?
Hey, man, Kat, hold it down, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't be a handful.
Yeah, that's why I wonder. I'm like, I thought you were going to say, fuck Kat or something like that. Oh, okay, God.
No, that sounds like something CB would say.
No, I think Kat is the breast. Stop me if you heard that again. The breast co-host there is.
See, that's the reason why she's the best, because she got to deal with your shit.
Oh yeah, and she ain't filed a lawsuit on me yet. Probably because she know we ain't got shit. But guess what? Next week and the week after, your job is going to become that more important. Now, it's probably listeners wondering where everybody else is at. I don't know, but I'm going to work on that. And next week, I got something that I think that will bring everybody back wherever they are. All right, but hey, whatever. Let's get it started. Listeners' feedback. Nope, we're not going to do listeners' feedback this week. I do want to say shout out to everybody who sent in feedback. I know who you are. And thank you. But we've been gone for 4 weeks. Ain't no sense talking about that right now. Send us some new feedback. All right. No around the cave either. We're going straight to a new segment. Well, not even a new segment. Just headlines that's been happening in the past 4 weeks because we've been gone. So we didn't get a chance to talk about it. So we're just going to run it down right now. So let's just talk about a few things that has happened since we've been gone.
News, rumors, gossip, and reality with Cat on Inside the Cave.
Doing it big right now.
All right, let me get you guys' opinion on this. Kanye West on the WGCI morning show with Kyle Kendra and Leon Rogers officially apologized. It was an emotional, for everybody who heard it, it was an emotional radio interview. That damn Kendra G, she brought the theatrics out for that one. But he officially apologizes for saying slavery was a choice, and then says he is running for president in 2024. But it was a great interview, though. Make no mistake about it. But what do you all think about Kanye West?
Go ahead, dog.
Well, I mean, I think the apology was long overdue. I mean, like always, man, Kanye kind of get caught up in his emotions, man, and ain't no telling what might come out his mouth. I honestly don't think that's exactly what he meant, even though that's exactly what he said, if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. What do you think, bro?
I think what you said does make a lot of sense, but that apology was some bullshit. Kanye's a clown, and I believe that he totally believed what he said. And somebody in his camp said, that shit didn't go over well. You better go out there and apologize. So just like when the white man accidentally calls a black person a porch monkey or a nigga, or say some old off-the-wall dumb shit and come with some half-baked ass apology, I'm putting Kanye West right in that same boat as them damn whiteys that do the same shit. You fucked up, let it ride, and you meant that shit.
I agree. I agree with that too, because the other thing I want to touch on is him saying that he is going to run for president still in 2024. First of all, my problem with that is, why not run in 2020, number one? And number two, during the interview, he said that he doesn't know anything about politics. He said his partner, for those who don't know, GLC from Chicago as well, is the one that knows everything about politics. So if you admit that you know nothing, why even step into that game? Well, Donald Trump doesn't know anything. Okay, look, let me quote my mother.
Hey, man, one clown enough, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me quote my mother. You can't do what the white man do. You got to be better than him. All right, yes, he got away with being president, knowing nothing, and being a clown. You can't do what he do. You got to be better than that. Like, no.
Anybody following Kanye, you got to, you have to give them some type of psychological exam or something, because it's bad enough if you still a fan of his, let alone follow him into politics and actually go out and vote for him. Like the country is in definite trouble. It's bad enough they fucked around and voted for Trump. They were so mad at fucking Obama, they didn't want another Democrat in, so everybody ran and voted for Trump.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what can happen in the world that'll make everybody say we want to vote for Kanye West. Because like they said, anger drives people to the election. I mean, drives people to vote. So I'm trying to figure out what can make everybody so angry to make them want to vote for Kanye West. I got to see this. Like, I know
man, this thing turned into a fucking clown show. That's what's happening.
I'm sick of them.
All these fucking celebrities, man, they need to just stay in their lane. And, because, look, Trump has already, I guess you can say, kind of exposed a lot of shit. Kind of gave people the courage to kind of speak out on what they actually believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you talking about going backwards.
And I agree. No, I agree with that. I agree. And the man just said that he knows nothing. So I don't know. I know love. That's what he said in the interview. I know love.
Here's the thing. First of all, you'll never get another black president.
I don't think so either.
That what they say, that race was already ran. So if you believe like I believe, and Obama was put in place as a mean to kind of silence the black community, get them comfortable again. Let's give them a black face. Let's give them a dog and pony show, because presidents really don't have any true power any damn way. So let's go ahead and stick him in, make them feel better, give them a couple of things and make them go away. So you'll never see a black president. This Donald Trump thing is so ridiculous. And it says so much about the country that this man probably could murder somebody and they still would say he didn't do it.
He said that.
Yeah, he said that out of his own mouth. He even knows. So, and I can't find the quote, but it's said, not confirmed, that back in 2005 or something like that, he had said if he would run, he would run as a Republican because Republicans are stupid. Well, I don't know if Republicans are stupid, but the people who vote Republicans sure are stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. That was in the 90s, he said that, or late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, no. I just posted, he actually said the same thing in 2001, I think, during the 9/11 thing. They had asked him, hey, you've been, well, that supposedly he had said on Oprah. It might have been in the 90s. I thought it was like 2005 after 9/11.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Yeah, no. We on the same page here. All right, so we all agree Kanye West, in my opinion, need to kill himself and start over. All right, let's get into this. Another thing that happened while we were gone, and probably one of the strangest, talking about dog and pony show, Aretha Franklin's funeral, 8-hour funeral, turns political. By the way, she had 3 wardrobe changes. I can't make this up. Aretha Franklin, who died a week and a half before the funeral, had 3 wardrobe changes, including high heel shoes, for her funeral. And also, Ariane Grande gets felt up by one of the preachers that was there, and that was trending everywhere on social media. What did you all think about the buffoonery from the Aretha Franklin 8-hour funeral?
Let you take the lead on that, bro.
I'm trying to be nice, man, because I don't like to speak ill of the dead. But you know me, man. I really don't get into celebrities. I don't really get into them being legitimate, regular people. You know what I mean? And I think that whole thing was a ritual. And I believe that this foolishness that these celebrities get into, these entertainers and musicians and actors and stuff, is all for show. And they conjured up some demons that day. And if you have done any research or heard any stories, and this ain't no conspiracy about Aretha Franklin and her upbringing, it's pretty disgusting and torrid. So I'm not surprised at all. It is funny she changed 3 times. That shit's funny. I can't even believe that. But everything that happened is not surprising at all, even all the way down to the effeminate. And I got in an argument with somebody on my page that they love to try to say what you didn't say. So they try to say I attack gay people and this, that, and the third. Effeminate does not mean gay. And that preacher is effeminate. And this has nothing to do with men. This has nothing to do with rape culture. This has everything to do with the perversion that's going on in the church today. There is no God. There's perversion. That's it. These TD Jakes, Creflo Dollars, and I don't know, I can't remember that guy's name, but all of them, they're sick and they're just as bad as the celebrities. And that's why they were participating in that farce of a funeral.
Hey, Ro, you said a whole lot, brother. I don't even know if I can come in.
I told you, man.
Hey, man, you know, I'm gonna say this, man. You know, it was everything but a funeral.
Amen.
I mean, it wasn't about her life. It wasn't about her. You know, you got a whole lot of opportunists that showed up. You know, basically, man, and they just made a, like you said, be a dog and pony show out of it. No respect for the dead at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on what Roland said a whole lot. I didn't know he was going to say it. It turned into a... I'm still trying to recover from that. But,
Hey, Robot is bad as the motherfucker that was up there speaking, right?
Yeah, let's talk about that. The one guy came up there and said that he basically started saying black people need to take responsibility for their own actions and all this kind of stuff. And he, what did he say? He said Black Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter or something. It turned into a political show. And then not to mention, what's the guy who I posted, the guy who went off about Obama not being there?
Mike Dyson.
Yeah, he went off. You had Bill Clinton standing next to who was he standing next to? Everybody was getting Farrakhan. He was standing next to Farrakhan, who they didn't let speak. And yeah. So, and you said there was some demons stirred up that night. You said
you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Now let's get on to this. Ariane Grande.
Before you move on, the guy that did, I think, the eulogy, the one that got lambasted, they drugged the shit out of him. Now, if I can play devil's advocate and look at this, if we do look at it as a funeral, right? Mm-hmm. I think that everybody, just like Dawg said, it's supposed to be about her life and all of that. To me, that's not necessarily a funeral. Isn't that something like a tribute? But when the preacher comes up, so basically at the funerals I go to in the black community, they normally say some nice words. People come up from the family. But once the preacher's ready to preach and give the eulogy, they close the casket, it ain't about the person that's being going in the ground. It's about the message that needed to go forth at that time. So I think, like, I don't know that guy, so I can't necessarily include him in all the demon worship and satanic bullshit that's in the black church. But I will say that if he was righteous in anything, he didn't necessarily have to preach about Aretha Franklin. It's about saving souls. You take that opportunity to talk to, because normally you don't get unsafe people to come to church. Yes. So the only time they come to church is when a funeral. So you normally preach a word that's going to get somebody to get saved. Yeah. So while they claimed he was pushing an agenda, like from the little bit I heard of the message, was the agenda bad? Other than it wasn't about her.
Well, I think that, and
I mean, you know, if you're not trying to kind of like uplift the family, man, and give them some confident words,
I think
that
everything else is bullshit.
But that's not what that moment is for, though, dog. At least in my experience in the black church, that's not what that moment is for. It's not.
Some now, not all.
Okay,
I mean, I'll say the majority, but you know, sometimes it's a celebration of life.
And I think
you know, you get up there and you give encouraging words, something to try to comfort the family while they're mourning, instead of making it about everything else.
And I think the main thing they were trying to say is that Aretha Franklin wasn't about whatever he was talking about. That wasn't her style. She was an advocate for the opposite of what that guy was talking about.
Can you remember? But CB, just help me understand. Can you remember kind of what they were dragging him about? Like what did he say that was so out of line? Like maybe I had to do some research on it.
No, I think for the most part, we would all agree. I don't have everything what he said, but I think we would all agree what he's saying is true. But it just seemed like a conservative Fox News talking point about the black community. And I think that's where everybody, I mean, he sounded like he was talking to Bill O'Reilly. And I think that's
I see what you're saying. He did the whole, but what about black on black crime?
Exactly, yeah.
Got you. Okay. So, yeah, that message pisses me off anyway. So, because there's no such thing, by the way, footnote, there's no such thing as black on black crime. It's just called crime.
I got to be honest, man. I didn't even tune in. I just caught a few glimpses on the news, and you got the priest that was up there, and he tried to make the little joke about Ariane Grande, and he was groping her and shit.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What do y'all think about that? Because here's my problem, and I had to get on my own mother and the other people that I know about how they blamed Ariane Grande for wearing the wrong dress to a funeral, and that has been mostly what a lot of black people.
I don't think the two go hand in hand. You can't say, I mean, me and Dawg having older kids and girls and being married, we would say you don't advertise. You be modest and all this other stuff. But if you don't, that's not necessarily a green light for a guy to come up behind you and grab your ass or squeeze your titty. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. All these fake preachers are being exposed, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's go back to my earlier statement. Perversion. Let's talk about it. It's like I think that's one of, other than the gay thing, that's the other big secret. So the Catholic Church keeps getting exposed for the priest and the altar boys, but nobody's talking about, and I almost sound like the black on black crime argument, but nobody talks about in the black community about the sexual abuse that goes on in our families and our churches. You know what I mean? Like that Eddie Long situation, although a while ago, got swept right under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Even the infamous R. Kelly openly admitted he was molested in church. We don't want to talk about that, as well as the pastors sleeping around with the secretaries and the deaconess board and all that other stuff. Like that goes down because of nobody's following God. And that's why you have people who don't believe in God anymore, because there is no true image of Christ in the black church. And that's why you got Hebrew Israelites saying it's the white man's religion. And that's why you have Muslims saying, oh, well, they gave that to you in slavery. You know, I don't believe any of that. If that was the case, then if we was to follow the word the way it really was supposed to be followed, we would be ruling. We would be so powerful, way bigger than white supremacy. It's not a white religion. Black people ruled the Bible. It's the white man that tries to make you believe that they were white. That don't mean they were. But I got a little bit off top of that.
No. Well, you kind of did, but I want to get back on this dress thing, because here's the thing. I've seen women come to church who are, let's say, 5'5" and 215 pounds, 230 pounds, and will wear the same exact dress that she had on. No. I ain't saying a different size. I'm talking about the same exact dress that Ariane Grande. Look, I'm a big guy. I know that I can't wear medium shirts. All right. So just because maybe cousin Lamar or Velle or Joe could wear a medium doesn't mean that, well, if they could wear them, I could wear it. That's the problem I don't understand with women. So just because your big ass can't put on the same dress that Ariane Grande was able to put on doesn't mean that she was in the wrong, just because the dress would look inappropriate on you. The woman was covered up.
No, that's not.
She can't help the fact that she's cute.
No. I think you missed it. Now that might be what some women that you're talking about are saying, but I think what the overall message was, aside from her getting felt up, is that she was dressed inappropriate for a funeral in comparison the way Fantasia dressed and the way what's the other girl's name? Not Jill. The one that played in Dreamgirls.
But bro, the only thing, man, that was really exposed was her shoulders, bro.
Huh?
I say only thing was out was her shoulders.
Exactly.
No, the shirt. No, that dress was way above the knee.
Yeah, but I mean, what, so legs. I mean,
bro, really, but Roland, the whole funeral was inappropriate, and y'all got the nerve. People got the nerve to talk about that.
Yeah, what that's the. Bro, I'm not agreeing. Listen, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just trying to clarify what the problem was. And since you made that point, that's the hypocrisy of church.
Yeah.
First of all, the majority of the people that was in that room were not followers of God or Christ. Whatever God you want to pick. So if you don't believe in Christ Jesus and you just believe God, but whatever the case, there's nobody, 90% of the people in that building was not followers of organized religion.
Right. I just want to make sure that people understand you cannot blame someone for wearing a dress for that pastor's actions. Like I've heard
you talk about victim blaming.
If she was to go up there naked, that don't mean you supposed to do anything. See, and that's what, and see, there's an underlying issue aside from the perversion in church. There's an underlying issue with men that there's even a woman, an African woman I seen on Instagram making some cockamamie ass argument about our reproductive cycles, how a woman ovulates once a month, whereas a man has sperm every day, and that we're predestined to cheat. And I'm like, where is the responsibility of one, self-control, and two, commitment? Now, if you want to release every single sperm cell you got every day, then you need not to be married, or you need not to be with a committed. You need not to commit to one person. So that's another problem that we have. So regardless of what she had on, that man should have had self-control, that he didn't grab that woman in a way that would even, especially as a pastor, he shouldn't have touched her in a manner that would even be perceived to be out of pocket. So that don't even mean that we're saying that his actions were to do what he did, but he didn't have self-control, that he didn't perform his pastorly duties and making that woman feel uncomfortable. You see how she was pulling away? She was damn near like the Plastic Man. She was pulling away so hard, but he had a tight grip on her. That's sad.
I agree. I just really don't want to. I think that a lot of women, what happens with a lot of women is the fact that they see another lady who looks good in something that they can't wear, and then they criticize. And women, that's the reason why Hillary Clinton didn't get elected. Women don't stick together. It's not a black woman thing. It's not a white. Women in general do not stick together.
But just in this particular case, though, it's just one of them deals where people are trying to justify this pastor not being able to control himself.
Yeah,
exactly. But CB, that argument was really unfair. I think that if I was to correlate what you just said, you had, now repeat what you just said about black women.
No, not black women, all women.
Okay, no, you said women
in general
criticize her because they feel
they can't wear a dress that she could wear.
So if a woman, so that's like saying when black women don't agree with interracial relationships, that means they just hating on white women.
No, I think they just hating on the fact that they can't get a man, and then this bitch.
Oh, that's even worse. Are you serious?
Yes, listen to it, man. They talk with a double-edged sword. That bitch shouldn't have wore that shit. You're saying that shit because you can't wear that shit. You saying it because your fat ass can't fit in that dress.
But what about all the women that can wear the dress then, CB?
Oh, they didn't say nothing. Those are the women that don't say nothing.
They did say something.
No, they didn't. Show me one who said it. Name one. Name one. Name a woman that could wear that dress.
Hey, bro, you can't say them this time, bro.
All right, let's go. Let's move. Hey, let's move on. Let's move on. Velle and Sly is in the building. All right, here we go. Chicago Bears traded for and signed to a long extension Khalil Mack. This is other news that happened while we were gone. What y'all think about? We already saw what he did week 1. Had a hell of a game. Khalil Mack, now the Bears starting linebacker.
Hey, can I chime in real quick before y'all go? 1, I'm not from Chicago. And number 2, I'm not watching an NFL. So I'm out of that conversation.
Well, 3.
Y'all need all the help y'all can get.
Way better than being tied with the Browns.
I don't know what you speak. I don't know what you speak of, sir. I didn't watch any games, but if you was to twist my arm, I did listen to it on the radio. Yeah, you twisted hard enough. I think I checked it out on the NFL channel.
Goddamn, Ro sitting around checking the scores, just trying to thug it out.
Oh man.
Hey, listen, no, don't make this about the Steelers. Y'all go ahead and talk about y'all Bears. I'm done. I'm out. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I just think that it was a good shows that the Bears actually made a move. We're not used to seeing Chicago teams spend money. The one thing about Chicago teams, you picked it, whatever team it is, they don't usually spend any money. And they do spend it, they usually regret it later on. The few times you can think of a Chicago team spending money on a free agent or a major player not named Michael Jordan, who they didn't even want to pay until his last 2 years, they usually end up regretting it. So that was a great move by Chicago. Velle?
No, I agree. I think Oakland first of all, what's going on, crew?
What up?
I think Oakland gonna pay for that move. And like you said, the first week shit, the man had what they call in baseball, a cycle.
Yeah.
The man had an interception, a sack, a fumble recovery, a sack, this or that. So shit, he had damn near everything you can get as a defender.
And he ain't even been to practice yet. Right. So yeah.
That was a good move by the Bears though.
All right, let's get into this. This is a story I found interesting while we were gone. The Bill Cosby Show star, a guy by the name of Geoffrey Owens, otherwise known as Elvin, and I can call him Elvin because I don't think he's did anything else major other than being Elvin since the 80s, but was job shamed for working at Trader Joe's. And this is where I rely on Roland for, because now after seeing what's happened, the conspiracy is I think that this was a PR stunt by his publicist, which was a great job. I think that his publicist set this whole thing up. Geoffrey Owens was caught working at Trader Joe's, and next thing you know, he's now the biggest free agent in Hollywood. So,
hey man, whatever it take.
Whatever it take. I wonder how much that costs.
Just a little backstory, just a little background, or no, I'm sorry, just a little update news. He just inked a deal with CSI, one of them new CSI shows.
Right.
So yeah. CSI Los Angeles, or one of the CSI shows he's going to be on now. I think he has a major role as well. The kid, I don't think it was a publicity stunt. I think that's a good thought, but you know me, I'm gonna go deeper with it, right? So just to kind of give you a little bit of background, it is quite possible that he was legitimately working at Trader Joe's because he had went broke. Because what happened is what you may not know. I'm not gonna say you don't know. What you may not know is that for syndicated TV shows, actors who were on the show get paid residuals.
Right.
Okay, so they get a check every month, right? So when Bill, and this is a real deep thing when you really peel back the layers going into the Bill Cosby thing, because once Bill Cosby scandal came out, they took the Cosby Show off the air.
Damn,
so
bro.
All the lesser known people stopped getting residual checks. Okay. Damn. The same thing happened when that white motherfucker for Seventh Heaven got caught in his motherfucking scandal. And just 6 months later, the parents or the family members of the child stars that was on that fucking show pitched so much of a bitch that they quietly snuck that fucking show back on. Now, 2 years later, the Cosby Show's back on. But like I said, he was probably feeling the effects of not getting that residual check.
I agree. That's exactly what I heard. And then what I also found out is that he only appeared, because I remember him being on the show since season 1, but officially he only appeared in 44 shows of the Cosby Show. So really think about that. I mean, a show that went 8 seasons in a time where they probably did 20 episodes a season, if not more than that.
I don't even think he did. I think he might have done like 2 seasons heavy. Like his storyline got real heavy when
toward the end and shit.
Yeah, when Sandra dropped out of college. Remember?
Yeah, but he's been on older. Yeah, he's been on the show since the beginning. Since they introduced Sandra, they introduced him, and that was at the beginning. But he just was always an off.
But you missed what I said. I said he had 2 seasons where he was in the show heavy.
Right, but I'm talking about officially. He only appeared in 44 episodes officially, so he's only getting residuals on 44 shows. So
okay, but that's still some major money.
But not really. If that's all you living off on, it's 44 shows from the 80s.
Hey, CB, who was that? Was that Nicki Minaj offered to give him 50,000?
25.
25.
25.
No, it's 25, and she did give it to him. She actually is confirmed. She did give him 25 stacks.
And he working with Tyler Perry too, right?
No, it was It was just an offer. He didn't accept it.
He didn't take it.
He did.
I thought he took it. I thought they said
he took the Tyler Perry deal and the NCSI.
Shit, he better take it. Nigga gonna be bagging groceries.
Oh, it's New Orleans. My bad. It's New Orleans. So what did he accept with Tyler Perry?
I think it's like what, 10 shows or a couple of seasons or some shit.
On that have and have not shit or something.
Right.
I still just see. Hey, when we get off the show, somebody send me the article, bro. I still only see a offer. I don't see no acceptance.
Oh, okay.
They kind of reported on it early this morning, so.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking I found it.
All right. Well, shout out to Geoffrey Owens for working the job, and but like Tyler Perry said, there's a lot of people that work jobs, and look, a lot of people were shaming him, and I don't understand that. Let me see how I can clean this up. There was a guy. Now, look, I'm not the brightest guy, I'm not the smartest guy, but I do have something called common sense, and I don't know what it is about people being ashamed to work a job. I remember telling the guy one time, and I get blamed for always wanting to toot my own horn, but I remember telling the guy, just getting this about the Bobby Brown story. Last week came out, and the official Bobby Brown story from BET, and everybody on this show knows that I'm the biggest mark for Bobby Brown. I'm the biggest fan there is. Bobby Brown is who I aspire to be like. When I was 9 and 10 years old, I wanted to be Bobby Brown. I didn't want to.
Velle, did he just say expire? Like you?
Aspire.
Hey, you know what, Roland? I can't even lie. I have to agree with him. Bobby Brown and Albie Show was the first tape cassettes I ever bought.
Loved them. I said aspire. That's by the way.
At the same time.
No, you said expire, but
I said aspired.
You want to be like the nigga.
Damn.
Except for the cocaine, I think.
Shit, that too. At one point, it's like, damn, if he can get Whitney Houston.
Well, all you got to do is say you wanted to be Bobby Brown pre-Whitney, because Whitney the one who hooked him with the coke.
Did you watch the movie? Did you watch the movie, Ro?
I don't watch that type of foolishness.
Man, but Roland, it was actually a great fucking movie, man.
Did you get the Gumby CB?
I had, man, don't let me show y'all no pictures, man. I had
the Gumby too.
I really wanted to be Bobby, man. It fucked me up when I found out later on, because
y'all definitely some marks.
Oh man, Bobby was the real deal before R. Kelly.
Hold up. Roland, you told me in college you wanted to be Professor X or one of them niggas from Republican. Like, you know Bobby Brown, motherfucker. Shit.
Hey, you know Roland older than us. He wanted to be Bobby Womack.
But he wanted to be Professor X.
Hey, Roland, who the dude who was making them poems back in the day? Who was R. Kelly before R. Kelly? Who was that dude we was talking about?
Chuck Berry.
Oh,
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry.
Roland wanted to be Chuck Berry.
Long time ago.
Did I send y'all that video?
Yeah, he over there finding chicks' faces and shit.
I think Dog sent that video.
Hey, you can't prove that.
But the thing is, here's some things I didn't know. That first of all, Bobby had Janet Jackson. I can't believe that he had Janet Jackson. The way he had her too.
Hey, you know what's funny about you making that statement? I watched the video, and I brought this up to somebody who would be a Bobby Brown fan, an older person, like, you know. And I said, listen, I can honestly say I was a BET dude, and I do not remember that interview he did with on Video Soul with Donnie Simpson, where he was fawning over Janet Jackson. I do not remember that. I cannot. It's like, man, they had to make that shit up. Like, like they went back in time or some shit. I'd never seen that video. Did y'all see that?
And can we give somebody his props though? We got to make an adjustment real quick. We got to give a guy his props who came on this show, I think last year, and told everyone that Janet Jackson was a hoe. And that guy said it last year, and slowly but surely, it's all starting to come out that Janet Jackson was a hoe. She gave away a lot of fucking pussy, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, why she got to be a hoe? She might just been she sounds like a great woman to me. How about you, dog?
Just because you're a hoe don't mean you ain't a great woman. You just like to give away a lot of pussy. And that's the reason why.
So basically, you saying just because you having sex, you're a hoe.
Control.
No, a dog. It's the type of sex she was having. Well, what brought Slide to the hoe factor is when she screwed that motherfucker.
CB is the one that called her a hoe, brother. Slide didn't call her a hoe.
Oh, I thought it was Slide. No. So CB, when you put it that she to the year to the day she gets divorced and gets the $30 million. Like, come on, that's no shit.
Yeah, and that's a pattern. It's a pattern of that shit.
That's why she didn't want to fuck with Tupac. That's why she was giving Tupac.
Thank you. That's why I was getting ready to go to.
She had already dealt with the bad boys and shit, so she knew what Pac was on, and she was trying to nip that shit in the bud real quick.
But what bad boys did she fuck with?
Bobby Brown.
And the dude from what's the light skinned boy from
DeBarge.
DeBarge, right? Yeah.
Oh, he was smacking up hoes like Prince or something.
He was married. Was she married to him?
Man, that nigga was cokehead and everything. Fuck you
for
talking
2 days.
I didn't know that shit.
That's why she asked Tupac to take a STD test. Shit, probably because Bobby gave her something.
No, AIDS test. She asked for an AIDS test.
Yeah, but did she take one?
No, she wouldn't take one.
Right. That's what I'm saying, man.
The pool night.
And what's funny is she got a lot of nerves. She Jermaine Dupri.
Jermaine Dupri, come on, man. This bitch.
Oh, I forgot about that little nigga.
See what I'm saying? She sell pussy.
Q-tip. She was Q-tip.
Huh?
Yeah.
Q-tip.
Yeah, attaboy, Sly. Attaboy.
Bonita, she was Bonita Applebaum.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
That pussy been around.
Q-tip got some
man, ain't no Janet, man.
That pussy been around.
Hey, I'm glad Cuz ain't here because Cuz would have shot all y'all. That nigga love Janet.
Hey, you can still love her, but that pussy been around. That pussy been around, boy.
Hold on, what G Money said? I should have never fucked with you. I knew you was a high price hoe.
Hey, look, and like I said in the Facebook group a couple weeks ago, I said, look, a lot of men don't have confidence or think that a woman might be out their league because somehow we put a bow on certain women saying, that's Janet Jackson pussy. That bitch go just, hey, my man, shout out to my man Deli Dell. I'm sure this line been around before he said it, but he told me there's only two things in this world you ain't never seen. That's a UFO and a hoe that won't go. That's Janet Jackson.
Hey, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's a lot of cats out there that just weak as fuck. They just don't have no confidence in themselves. It ain't about putting a bitch on a pedestal. They just be weak as fuck. Cause I ain't never been no pretty boy. I pull some bad bitches.
JD proved that.
If I get a chance to shoot my shot at Janet Jackson, that's gonna be the best no I done ever got. See, Sly, here's the thing. That ain't my conversation. It ain't the best no. We fucking. Like, I'm not getting a no. It's not even about vocabulary to think I'm getting a no. I'm just saying that the worst thing that can happen is I get a no from Janet Jackson, and that's still the best thing ever. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that bitch squat the pee just like all the rest of them hoes. Fuck out of here.
I'm with you, bro.
Shit, Roland about to turn into one.
Roland, we ain't recording.
They just gonna disrespect Janet like that, man.
Yeah, man. Leave Janet alone, man.
Hey, man, call Cuz, man.
You fuck Bobby Brown. Fuck is you talking about? You let Bobby Brown throw you out the hotel room.
Hey, man, you just said Bobby was your idol.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
When you think about like if Bobby had.
So you saying she a hoe for fucking your idol?
Hey, what did R. Kelly say?
Show this nigga.
R. Kelly said.
Slot was in the middle of fucking talking.
I can't hear him. What he saying?
Listen. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
If Bobby was with Janet Jackson, got with Janet Jackson, who could the other members of New Edition had got with? In Vogue? You know what I'm saying? Like it's endless possibilities.
Well, the thing is,
they all married to regular women. They all married to regular women now.
Well, that's what
but how we know, Slide? They might have smashed on the low.
That Ronnie DeVoe just got married.
Right.
That's what I mean. Niggas ain't know about Bobby and Janet for real till right now. Ain't no telling who them niggas said back in the day.
We know that bitch can keep a secret because her whole relationship to JD was a fucking secret. After they broke up.
You think Janet called Bobby up like, who the fuck gave you permission?
It's his story. It's his story. You see she ain't sued BET and she ain't sued him. Look, the thing is, look, not only did he fuck her, he told her he found out that her father didn't want her dating a dark-skinned black guy. So he threw her out the hotel. In the book it says because he said, damn, that's Janet Jackson. So he opened the door again and threw her some cover. Threw her out the hotel. No, this is facts. It's in the book.
That's some shit, Roland.
I'm serious. Dog, am I lying?
That's some shit I do.
Hold on, time out. He threw the bitch out and said, shit, that's fucking Janet Jackson. Bitch, here's a cover.
Here's a blanket.
Look it up. BET said they didn't want to air that part because they end up giving. Look, here's a conspiracy, bro. All throughout the Bobby Brown story on BET, they were running Janet Jackson. Now, when was the last time Janet Jackson showed up to a BET anything? When was the last time? Probably when her brother died. Okay. All of a sudden, they got this BET She Matters whatever shit going on, and they promoting that. So they took out the part in the book where Bobby Brown throws Janet Jackson out and then closes the door and thinks about it and said that's Janet Jackson, and then opens the door again and throws some cover on her. I mean, this is what happened. And she ain't.
So Bobby Brown was the first one to say bye, Felicia.
Yeah, right. Bobby was a motherfucker, man.
Damn. So do that mean there's something wrong with Janet Jackson and Halle Berry?
Hey man, y'all leave Halle Berry alone.
I was thinking about Halle Berry too. I was like, that's
just saying, dog. That's two baddies, from the 80s, 90s, and shit. They both single.
Well, I mean, if you bad, maybe you just don't tolerate bullshit.
Or maybe you just crazy, the motherfucker.
All right, hold on. My cape was folded up. Now let me give it to Dog. I got to give it to Dog. No, I ain't putting it on. Cape got folded up and put away once we started talking about Janet.
Hey, that nigga dog. Hey, do like wrestling tag. But you say this ain't no tag team. You just tagging him in, huh, Roland? Take the cake. Take the cake.
Yeah, there you go, dog.
Bring it back. Here's Alona. Bring it back when you done.
Hey, CB, since you've known me, what have I always said? If you're in a relationship and somebody don't like what you do, you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're on top of your shit and you consider to be one of the baddest, why she got to settle?
Who you talking about, Halle Berry?
I'm saying in general.
Yeah, that's true. And I agree.
I agree with that, but that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not the case.
We don't know that.
She got 30 million on the exact day of getting 30 million.
That sounds like some whole shit to me.
Not even just you know what?
Alarm.
Let's not even say
500 million.
Hey, we can't. Yeah, 500 million.
What was it, Slide? 500 million.
Oh, you talking about Janet?
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about Halle Berry and David Justice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it in general.
Hey, Janet sounds like a smart woman.
The David Justice thing ain't fair.
Hey, look here.
He was dotting that I, so she had to get out of that.
He said he was doing batting practice.
Upside her motherfucking head. So
and
that ain't cool.
And okay, let's think about this. I'm glad y'all brought this up. Okay, so
what cat at while we talking about all this relationship shit?
Hey, let's talk about this. You guys brought it up. David Justice used to beat Halle Berry's ass. Then Wesley Snipes used to beat Halle Berry's ass.
He was practicing for Nino Brown. He said he was just rehearsing.
sounds to me like the problem is Halle Berry. Like if everybody want to beat your ass, it sounds. I mean, think about that.
I totally disagree.
You know what I mean? Seriously. Okay. Let me give all the ladies some. This is something that I would tell, and I might be wrong here because luckily for me, my daughter's not.
Put it like this, CB.
No, I
want you to think about something.
No, I want you to get your opinion on something I'm about to say. This is what I would tell somebody. If you break up, if a woman breaks up with a man, the worst thing you can do when you move on is tell the next guy exactly what you put up with the last guy, because all the next guy is going to do is to give you the same shit, because in his mind, he's going to think, oh yeah, you can handle it. You handled it before.
I hear what you're saying, but see, you kind of changing the subject.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, I want you to think about this. Back before all of us got married, when we was out there, right? Okay. So you think about some of the dirt that we did back in the day. Mm-hmm. If that woman could have beat your ass, don't you think she would have?
You saying you got your ass beat, dog?
Never that. What I'm saying is, if she could beat your ass, don't you think she would?
I ain't almost get my ass beat by a woman till I got married.
Yeah.
Because of the dirt. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Hey, all I'm saying, Velle, don't get your ass suspended again.
Oh no, I can talk the facts. Hashtag DJ Envy.
Speaking of women who got their ass whooped, so Cardi B gets a pumpkin head from Nicki Minaj. This just happened last week at New York Fashion Week. Apparently, Nicki Minaj, for those that don't know, for those of us that listen to this show that's older and don't give a fuck about these young people shit, Nicki Minaj apparently liked on social media a message about Cardi B being a bad mother. Cardi B sees Nicki Minaj at New York Fashion Week and approaches her and somehow ends up getting a knot on the side of her head. And basically the big thing is in the black community is that these two women, black women, acted a fool in front of white people. Once again, thinking that we got to act a certain way around. Hey, if that's how you act, that's how you act. You ain't got to switch up the game for white people, because white people act a damn fool too. I don't get that shit. But
if you go back and watch the tape, basically Cardi B was acting a fool by herself because Nicki was over there chilling.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why you got security.
Was she killing or was she scared?
Same thing. It just depends on who you ask.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you all. I really don't care. I'm just talking about the stuff that happened since we last recorded. But yeah, whatever. All right. We're almost done with this shit. Nike releases the Colin Kaepernick commercial. Nike officially supports Colin Kaepernick, who has always been signed with Nike before he took his stance on the flag. What do you all think about Nike going out on a limb and supporting Colin Kaepernick, which I think they had no choice because the biggest stars, Serena Williams and LeBron James, supports Colin Kaepernick. So they really didn't have a choice. But what you all think about that?
Great. And Nike always has had history with supporting athletes and that seem to be sport activists. You know what I'm saying? So why not? They did it with Jordan when he was getting fined for wearing the wrong color shoes and shit on the court.
I think this is a little bit different than wearing the wrong color shoes, brother. That's not a national. You know, that's him wearing the shoes, different color shoes is just basketball. That's not Colin Kaepernick national.
My point is like they support. My point that I'm trying to make is that they support who they riding out with the people they got, and Colin Kaepernick was still under contract, correct?
Right.
So they decided to double down on the man. You know, facts is facts. Colin Kaepernick is better than 50% of the starting quarterbacks in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, man, Nike too big to fail. You know what I'm saying? So either way it go, they're gonna win. So why not? I mean, you look at it from a business standpoint, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Number publicity, free publicity.
Even from a moral standpoint, it's what you hope they came from. But we all know when you dealing in business, it's always business.
Controversy creates cash. There's no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity is good. They're gonna win on the long run.
And what did they go up 39% sale increase?
Initially,
I think there's a deeper underlying issue here, though. I think the bigger issue is our love affair with Colin has kind of hypnotized us into believing that corporations are for the people. So what happened is that, like Dog hopes, there's a part of me that can believe that Phil Knight actually is sympathetic to Colin and his plight. But like,
not to interrupt, but you did hear I say that it's always business first.
Oh, no doubt. I'm going somewhere, bro. I'm going somewhere. I wasn't trying to peg that with you specifically.
Well, hurry up and get there, Ro. Why you taking a long route to get to the point?
Well, you know how I do. I got to drive this bus. It's been a while. Let me drive the bus, damn it. So, I think that we would hope that Phil has that love affair with Colin and he decided to do good, right? But just like white people made the protest about the flag, black people have made the protest about Colin. We still ain't talking about the issues. We're still not talking about police brutality. We're still talking about either the flag or Colin, the flag or him getting a job, the flag and the commercial. This shit was supposed to be about one thing the black community will do, and this is so sad for us, and I don't understand where this comes from, and social media has made it 100 times worse, is we will deify a motherfucker with the quickness. We will make a motherfucker a living Jesus before your very eyes. And that's what Colin has turned into, man. I ain't knocking nobody on this show support of him or anybody out there in the listening audience support for him. This ain't about him. That's what I keep trying to get people to understand in my post, is that why do we keep talking about Colin and why don't we talk about the fucking police brutality?
Well, see, Ro, here's what we differ on that. We know that the protest was about police brutality against unarmed black men. I think everybody knows that. At the same time, you can't forget about Colin being blackballed. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of goes hand in hand on that point.
Yeah, but I still think that the majority of us missed the point, because with any activism comes great sacrifice. So why, if the league is racist, right? This is the analogy that I used. Okay, the NFL is a plantation. No, the NFL is the South, and each team is a plantation owner. And what you're saying is that Colin got kicked off the plantation. He can't work the fields anymore. And what we saying is Massa, can you please let me back on the plantation?
Damn. Yeah.
That's
Damn.
I don't think that's what we're saying at all.
That's exactly what y'all saying.
Hey, Big Dawg. I don't think that's what I don't think that's what we're saying. But god damn, is that a good Instagram post? Make sure you take this audio and post this shit. That is just for entertainment purposes. That's good. I don't think we all feel like that, but god damn, that's a hot take. God, I love that
So
stuff.
y'all ain't let Dog finish. Y'all ain't feeling that? That analogy is a home run.
I like that. That's a hot take, but I don't think we all agree that. But that's a hot take.
I mean, when somebody sacrifices everything for a cause, you should get behind him. It's always easy for everybody else to sit back and say, well, in the background they cheerleading, but they ain't willing to sacrifice shit.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Big Dawg. I'm gonna ask you specifically, and then I want you to answer for America, Black America.
I can't do that. I can answer for myself.
All right, well we'll let CB answer for Black America. What is the end game? If we're behind Colin, what do we want for Colin Kaepernick?
I have no idea, because his ass definitely ain't playing football ever again.
No. Forget what the truth is. What do we want for him? If there was somebody willing to sign him tomorrow, is that what we would want for him?
I personally don't, because I think that would ruin him.
You sure you want CB speaking for the black race?
Yeah.
I personally don't want him playing football again, because he ain't played in 2 years. And I think, honestly, Roland, if that man if the NFL was smart, if you want to end the whole Colin Kaepernick debate,
give him a job.
Sign him.
Yeah, give him a job.
And watch him self-destruct. He ain't played in 2 years.
But but here's the problem with that, though. If they do that, what if the motherfucker shine?
Yeah, he ain't shining. He ain't shining, brother. So you ain't walking off the NFL after 2 years and then start playing quarterback again. That man ain't took a snap in 2 years, and you telling me I'll tell
you this right now.
Hell, you ain't say that about D Rose, old bad knee ass.
Come on, dog. Here you go.
Now, Mike Vick was the only person that was able to do it.
I got another hot take.
No, man, the NBA is different. I'm sorry, go ahead, man, but the NBA is different from the NFL.
I'll bet everything in my bank account right now, which is about $7.83.
Hey, Roland, that's $7.83 more than I got.
Hey, for real. Shit, I challenge you my $2.13. We still ain't at $10 yet, is we?
So I bet my $7.83 to anybody right now. Now, I did not watch the NFL this weekend, but I did hear many, many reports of the quarterback play. And I can tell you this, that statement you made was so fucking asinine, because there's motherfuckers that have been in camp all year and still won't play as good as motherfucking Colin would. These fucking whinies is stinking it up.
I believe
you had a motherfucking quarterback. Who was the quarterback that had a 0 quarterback rating? Come on, man. That's what the problem is.
Was that Buffalo that lost 41-3?
Yeah. They said, did you know that back in the day?
Oh, you mean thanks to my Ravens?
What was the remember the the offensive lineman that played for Denver? He's always was on ESPN. Man, what the hell was his name? He got a funny ass name.
No, Mark. Was his first name Mark?
Yeah, Mark something.
Okay. Mark something with an S.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he always was breaking down shit and all the time. I remember years and years and years ago, he had tried to explain. It might not have been. It might have been boomer sizing. Anyway, they said that you can drop back 6 straight times and spike the ball into the fucking ground and have a quarterback rating of like 1.96 or some shit like that. This motherfucker had a 0 quarterback rating. And you telling me Colin couldn't step back on there's motherfuckers in your neighborhood that can step on and play quarterback better than these motherfuckers. Just on athletic ability alone.
The man made it to the Super Bowl.
But we all know Colin Kaepernick, the moment they sign him, the expectations for him would be much higher than
we know that, but you didn't answer the question. What do you want for him?
I really don't want shit for him.
America, what does Black America, why do they keep saying I'm not watching the NFL until Colin get a job? Why do they want him to have a job? It's the fucking plantation.
And he's making money.
Hey, how long did Mike Vick go without playing before he got a job?
18 months.
2 years.
18 months. 2 seasons.
And he went to jail, but this man is fighting for equality, and you telling me you don't want to put him on your team.
Because, brother, what did Roland? That's what me and Roland agree. See, they okay with the image of black men beating up women, slapping up their wives.
Violence.
They okay with your ass being unemployed.
Yeah, they okay with.
It's really about the fact that he's being denied to play. It's not so much that, you know what I'm saying.
And he ain't begging.
No, I don't. Opportunity. I'm completely lost. I have not gotten a credible answer yet on my analogy. Y'all disagreed with my analogy, but I didn't
disagree with your analogy. I thought it was a great hot take.
That's you downplaying my shit.
I mean, no, I swear to God, I don't look at the NFL as being the plantation. First of all,
I do. I agree with him on that. I totally agree.
How you figure that,
brother? Look at the way. Okay, first of all, when we say plantation, we're not talking about it's used as a metaphor.
I understand what you're saying, but explain to me how you can even make that analogy.
Okay, the way they pay them, the system and the way they pay them. First of all, you're basically owned by one team from the time you sign. You have no free agency. You have no freedom to move to different spots. If they want to keep you. Look at Le'Veon Bell.
I mean, y'all do realize that this is a job like what 99.9% of America has, right?
No, it's not.
That's not. No, it's
not. That's not true.
It's a job.
Okay.
Why do you think they can? Hold on, time out. Why do you think they can even blackball them if it's a job?
If you want to quit where you work at, you can go work for the competitor. Who's the competitor for NFL? There's no other place you can go.
Still a job.
It's not
a job, bro. It's a matter of fact. It doesn't. You can't even sue them. Well, he did sue him, and he got it to go to the next step. But technically, the whole system is set up as a private entity. It's there. That's why they have contracts. That's why they have rules and regulations. That's why they can have fines. Your fucking job can't fine you because you wore the wrong
socks. You get paid to provide a service. That's a job.
All right. We have been on this too long right now, so let's move.
Hey, let me say something real quick, CB.
Okay.
Remember, a couple maybe months ago, we talked about how the NBA is so much ahead of the times as far as football and baseball.
Right.
And a lot of things we talk about end up being displayed later on some type of media platform. And today I read basically stating that the NBA should be applauded by how far they're ahead of the game with so much stuff. And I'm just wondering if Kaepernick was in the NBA, I don't think this would be a situation.
Well, okay, I'm glad. I wanted
it would be because your contracts are guaranteed.
But that's not true. That's not true neither, because you have to stand for the.
Okay, let me give you. I'm glad you said that, bro. Can I explain to you why it's different? Here's the difference. Number one, in the NBA, you don't wear a helmet. Okay, so you're able to. We know you can't. Other than a quarterback, most people, unless a football player gets in trouble, you don't even know who they are. They can walk. Right. They can walk through your house. You wouldn't know who they are. Okay. Right. The national anthem was already in place in the NBA. It was a rule. In the NFL, it's still not even a rule that you have to stand. It was already there. They're trying to use the national anthem because this guy decided he was going to sit down. Now they're trying to say, but it hasn't even been negotiated that you have to do it. It still isn't. And then the other thing is too, in the NBA, they can talk. They can freely talk and not suffer any consequences for their own beliefs. They can get political. The NFL, they tell you to shut up. They Fox News, shut up and run, monkey. Shut up and dance, monkey. That's what they tell you. So the NBA is different. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a big.
I mean, it's different because the players have a lot more control.
Yeah, they're not on a plant. They're not on a plantation like they are in the NFL.
It's the same thing, bro. It's still a fucking job.
You making it seem like it's not the same as a good thing. No, this very thing has happened to multiple players. Magdu Rauf.
That's true.
Was kicked out the fucking league. He was blackballed.
Now that was in the earlier. That wouldn't happen now, but that was they did evolve. They did evolve. You got to get.
Okay. Well, what about Craig Hodges' situation?
That was still in the early. That was in the early '90s, bro. It's '93. We're still in the same time frame.
But it was something that didn't even happen in the league.
They evolved though. Can we give them credit for evolving? Whereas the NFL and Major League Baseball is still in the 50s.
Okay,
hey, let's go.
My bad. I understand what y'all saying. Y'all saying today they can't.
Exactly.
You can do more today.
Yeah.
Let's go here though. I know you want to get off topic, but y'all fucked up my train of thought. No, I was gonna say, honestly, let's look at the big picture. What if Colin Kaepernick's mission in life, as we go even beyond, I'm about to go rolling mode. Let's go to the heavens. What if he was created not even for football? What if this was his mission? Now, what if he becomes some type of political voice the rest of his life? How many years was he in football? 4 years, 5 years?
Right.
And he spent the next 20 to 30 years fighting for something else.
Well, the only problem with that, Velle, is, and this is what my problem has been with him from word go, is that he ain't saying shit. He's not saying nothing. He's not eloquent enough to really grab a microphone and really be on a platform, because most people would have took this and ran with it. You know what I mean?
But you got to think about it, man. Sometimes actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
You got a lot of them that get up there and they talk a good game, but they don't do shit.
Yeah.
Hey, and I got to pat him on the back for that. You got a point. He is getting things done, but
that might be how powerful he is, Roland. All the shit that's going on, he hasn't said nothing.
It don't take a lot of talk, bro, to get your point across or to get shit done.
But he hasn't said anything.
He said enough.
And he's making things happen. Without saying nothing.
Oh, okay, I'll put it to you this way.
It's one of them deals where everybody got the expectation is so high, and it's another thing, like you say, bro, where they just want to discredit because he's not vocal enough for everybody's taste. You know what I'm saying? He's not outspoken enough.
Well, let's put it to you like this. I'm not being critical of him in that manner. Let's say it like this, right? We're coming up on 400 years, right, of bondage. So from the time we came here, if you believe in we came here or you were indigenous to America, I don't want to get into semantics, but since the early settlers touched down to now, that's coming up on 400 years, right? As I told y'all before, I might have just spoke to CB about this. I'm putting together a timeline of things that happened in Black history so we can actually quickly go to these dates and understand when we talk to people or white people or even educating us about how this didn't happen 100 years ago. The Tuskegee experiments, they happened 80 some years ago, but Jim Crow, we coming out of Jim Crow less than 50 years ago. You know what I mean? Like this shit was our grandparents, you know what I mean? My dad, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or your grandparents or your great grandparents. So all I'm saying is in today, 2018, what does the new lead? So I'm not saying that it's not Colin, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but for where we're at today, what does the new leader of the community have to look like, or what does his actions have to be like, and how many of them does it have to be in order to make real change? Because in my opinion,
one person or the way Colin is doing, you can help a few people. You need a whole bunch of Collins doing that in order to do it that way. The reason why I want him to be vocal is because, like Tupac said, I may not be the one, but I may spark the next one that comes along. So Colin, to me, his obligation should, if he's not a wordsmith or he's not eloquent enough, or if he opens his mouth and they can trip him up or he's gonna sound stupid, then you're right, shut the fuck up.
I mean, but he's already doing that without being as vocal as you may think he should be.
Then how come there's no change? That's what I'm saying. So
one person can't change the world, bro.
Not overnight.
But that's not what I said. I wasn't even having an expectation for him to change the world. I just said, if you're doing it that way, you need a whole bunch more people to be doing the same thing in order to get anywhere. So basically what I'm saying is, I'm not upset that he's throwing his pebble in the ocean. All I'm saying is I'm acknowledging, dog, that's just really a pebble in the ocean. We need somebody that's going to come and lead with words and action. Not just action and not just words. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking the cat.
It's not necessarily a blueprint, bro, because this is a whole new generation.
And boy, every time I try to move on, this guy. And I thought you told me that people who bring up who sell a bunch of goods like they're gonna do something is the reason why you don't like Obama. Remember? You
didn't hear what I said.
He promised us this. He was going to do this.
You didn't hear what I said. Don't listen. Don't do that. Don't try to put word. Listen.
How all of a sudden you wanted Black Jesus again, and you just said that's why people.
This is what I said. I said with words and action. I didn't say just words. I said not just words and not just action. You have to be somewhat, and it's hard to use these as an examples because they're so monumental in what they did, but a Malcolm X type figure needs to come and do something and say something. All right,
for those that don't know what Roland's talking about, he wants Colin Kaepernick to get killed in order for him to mean something to this world. Because if someone doesn't get murdered, then I guess they don't mean nothing.
That's not even what I said, bro. But go ahead, we can move on. Now you put words in my mouth. That's what CB does. Listeners, more CB bullshit. So we're just gonna move on to the next topic.
All right. For those that don't know, the Power season finale. Angela got shot, and Tommy is after Ghost now, and should be a great season 6. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. We got to move on 0 to 100 real quick.
Had a long week? Need to get some stuff off your chest? Do it now. Let's go 0 to 100 real quick.
Real quick. Real fucking quick, nigga. 0 to 100, nigga. Real
quick. Who got something this week?
Hey, man, I got something.
Go ahead.
Oh, shit.
U.S. Open. Right? I'm quite sure everybody saw the story that's been going around about Serena Williams, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Mark Knight is a cartoon artist.
Yeah, I saw it.
For the Australian newspaper. Did y'all see the cartoon he put together?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I know we're doing 0 to 100, but that motherfucker right there needs to get to kill yourself. not start over.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why. I agree. What you got, Velle?
Man, I don't know. There's so much shit been going on. I can't even pinpoint nothing right now, man. I'll let somebody else go.
All right. I want to talk about this real quick. This week, not only does this, well, first of all, before I got a couple things. There's a running joke on this show is that CB ain't gave the Cave their W-2s. I just want to pull back the curtain and let our listening audience know a couple things. International D and Joe Dirt just came back from Vegas, and this will be on record. International D flew from London to Chicago, then went to Vegas. This will be the second time within 2 weeks that he did that. W-2s. Joe Dirt.
Hey, Dog, is this nigga snitching or what?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, man.
You ain't heard the rest of it. Joe Dirt will be Joe Dirt's third or fourth vacation this year. They just came back from Vegas, and he was in Vegas for damn near 5 days. What ordinary people do you know that go to Vegas for 5 days? W-2s.
Why are you trying to count their money, man?
Velle is tomorrow getting ready to go on another cruise this year. This will be probably number 3 for him. W-2s. Big Dawg just bought another truck.
Hey.
About time you had a show, I'll be there already.
Hey, CB about to get fucked up.
Hey, I'm making another announcement. If CB don't shut the
Big
fuck
Dawg
up,
on his fucking way.
We're gonna use your W-2s to pay for your funeral.
Hey, Velle, Big Dawg on the fucking way.
Hey, so
Hey, that
nigga
nigga Dawg said, hold on now.
hey,
Tell my business.
For everybody on Inside the Cave that's talking about CB owes them some W-2s, just want to let their audience know.
hey, what we got and what you owe, motherfucker, is 2 different things.
These motherfuckers,
You know what?
These motherfuckers
CB,
be giving me a W-2. Shit.
And for all the people out there listening, CB ain't gave us our W-2s, so we all working at Trader Joe's next to Geoffrey. That nigga, he on register 4, I'm on 5. Dog on 6, Ro on 7, D and Joe on 1 and 2.
That's a great clap back right there. I like that. That was a great clap.
Now I gotta work at Trader Joe's. Now I gotta quit now.
I'm unloading.
Hey, I heard your voice on the radio show.
All right. Then my second thing is.
Hey, man, I got another thing I want to touch on too, man.
All right, let me finish this. The second thing is this week, not only is it Cat's birthday, 9/12, but Tuesday, 9/11, at one point in American history was known as the most tragic day in American history since, I don't know, that bombing in Hawaii. What was that bombing called? Pearl Harbor, since Pearl Harbor. And
both false flags. But go ahead.
True, maybe, but neither here or there. I remember in 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. Whenever 9/11 comes, it was a sad day. People would sit back. Americans would come together. They would cry. They would mourn over the individuals who was lost on 9/11. But then one thing happened. A guy by the name of Barack Obama came through and killed the mastermind, or so the media says, the mastermind of 9/11. And America somewhat turned the page on 9/11 now. You don't want to know why? Because a black man saved the day. A black man once again cleaned up the white man's mess. And so now 9/11 doesn't even mean that much. Oh yeah, it happened. Yeah, we're sad about it, but they moved on. They created something called ISIS. Well, you know, they might have killed Osama bin Laden, but we got ISIS now. And then once Trump came in, you don't hear about ISIS no more. See, they're only mad about certain things, but once a black man came through, cleaned up their mess. This ain't got nothing to hey, the motherfuckers, they came over here and bombed them towers, so they say. They ain't come after black people. They wasn't after us. Black man came through, cleaned up their mess, and now it's not that big of a deal anymore. Sooner or later, because this is one thing that Trump can't erase from Obama's legacy with his pen, sooner or later you're gonna see 9/11 somewhat evaporate from American history, just like Pearl Harbor did. And that is CB going 0 to 100. All right, what you got, Velle? Or Big Dawg? What you about to say?
Go ahead, Ro.
Oh no, I thought I went last.
Oh, okay. What y'all got?
Because you know I'm gonna tear this motherfucker down. So
go ahead, Ro.
Wait, what you think about what I said, Roland?
That's what I was getting ready to touch on. That's some fucking bullshit, man. Listen, these motherfuckers ain't forgot about no motherfucking 9/11 because no black man killed Osama bin Laden. Now I will give you your point that they don't make Osama bin Laden no big deal because he killed them or whatever, and they damn sure don't want to give no black man no fucking credit. So I will say that, but they ain't forgot about no motherfucking 9/11. Like I said, These motherfuckers celebrate the past like nobody's business, but they want us to motherfucking forget about slavery, forget about Jim Crow, forget about us hanging y'all, forget about this. Racism's over, but they want to motherfucker glorify 9/11. They want to glorify Sandy Hook. They want to glorify all they little tragedies, the Boston bombing and all this shit. You ever notice how it's all white people that's dying in this shit? Don't be no black people. We didn't go to work that day because we knew what the fuck it hit for. It was all whiteys that died in that shit. That's why the motherfuckers talk about this and that and the third. So while they sitting there talking about forget about slavery, we ain't forgetting about shit until y'all forget about all these little incidents that y'all be having that y'all want to celebrate all the goddamn time, and then y'all want to put it all up in our face like we done something wrong and racism's over. That's my 0.
That nigga said we ain't go to work that day. Hell no.
Hey, Velle, I swear I made a good point until he
yeah. Yours was pretty solid. I ain't even gonna lie. But that nigga said we ain't even gonna work that day. God damn. All that shit he said was hard, but all I heard was we ain't gonna work that day. God damn. That's some shit though, Roland. But no, Roland make a good point, man. A lot of shit that's going on, like you said, to the white people is either white on whites. You know, you got the white people doing massive killings and shoots, or but we had a whole race against us, as a whole.
Hold on, you said had.
Well, having.
Yeah, because I'm about to say we're gonna have to get Kat on here because she the English major. So
don't get Kat started.
Had is past tense, brother.
Hey, until the next one happen, I hate to say it.
Shit.
I just don't want to be involved in it.
All right, y'all ain't got nothing else. I'm gonna move on. We ain't got Cat's Corner. We'll do Cat's Corner next week.
Hey, it's one thing we forgot to touch on.
What's that?
The Dallas police officer.
Yeah, how you forget that, CB?
Amber Geiger.
But that's new news. That's why I didn't put it in.
Oh, okay. Oh, because while we were gone. Okay, I see your point.
Right.
Well,
she
anyway,
still get a KUIL.
She get to kill yourself and don't start over.
I mean, how in the fuck she only get a manslaughter?
Well, no, that's actually good because at least then well, I ain't gonna say we know for sure, but she's more than likely to get charged for manslaughter. She definitely ain't gonna get first degree murder.
No.
Hey, man, all this why we always got to just settle.
And that's why Colin is down on one knee.
Because see, first degree is when you
ain't at the max.
No. It's a different level because first degree is saying that I'm going to kill somebody and I go kill somebody.
Right. You planned it.
Right.
Premeditated murder.
Exactly.
That's my point. Like, why the fuck she ain't getting that?
But
that's exactly what she did, dog.
I can't say that because what I mean, her story is.
CB, I see where you're going. It's not manslaughter though. You're misapplying, and what they did was they misapplied manslaughter.
You having a car accident and killing somebody is totally different.
Right.
And you walking into somebody else's house and lying.
But she thought it was her house.
Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Now that would have been manslaughter if that was the real case. But she knew where she was going. She knew what her intent was. That's premeditated murder.
And she lied like she didn't know him.
Exactly.
But how do we know? Do she know him? They said she didn't know him.
Yeah, they got pictures together.
They dated. Those pictures are fake.
Those pictures are fake. See, that's what I'm saying. We got to be.
I heard those pictures. I heard that somebody on the white side was spreading those pictures to deflect from what was going on. I don't think they might know each other, but from what I understood, they weren't in relationship.
That's crazy.
The other thing is too.
So you saying they photoshopped her in the picture or him?
Hey, dog. If I walk to your house and I put my key to my house in your doorknob, pause, is your door gonna open?
Hell no, it ain't supposed to.
So how the fuck her key go into this man's doorknob and she walk in the crib?
Well, keep this in mind too, that those keys aren't regular keys. And believe
there ain't no way nobody can justify this motherfucker here talking about she went to the wrong house.
No. Time out, dog. Ain't nobody trying to justify. I was just trying to explain to Velle that it's a possibility that her key could have opened that door.
It's possible that bitch lying also.
Yeah,
Oh,
if that nigga was sitting down watching TV and she shot the man, even if that was the case, if
so
he
how she get in his house? So how
that's what I'm saying. Right, that's what I'm saying.
So there had to, regardless if she's wrong or not, I'm just saying, how did she get in?
That bitch had ties to that man.
Then she had a key, then that's easily proved.
Exactly.
Okay, well, if she had the key, then yeah, then I see what you're saying, that she went in to kill him. But
I'm just saying that it's not manslaughter. I watched a program with some fucking police expert, and he was saying that the manslaughter charge is not appropriately applied in this case, regardless if she thought it was her apartment. Still shouldn't be manslaughter.
So what should have been second degree? It definitely ain't. It definitely can't be first degree. That's gonna be hard to prove first degree murder.
Whatever degree of murder it is, negligent, that's what it is.
It's negligent homicide. Anytime somebody dies,
it's white privilege. It's white privilege. That's what it is.
Anytime somebody dies without, not of natural causes, it's a homicide. Then you figure out what the intent of the person was. So like Velle said, if it's a car crash and then you kill somebody, it can be manslaughter. But
we know her intentions was to shoot and kill.
But if I see you standing in the middle of the street,
we don't know why.
But if I see you standing in the middle of the street, bro, and I step on the motherfucking gas and run your ass over, nigga, that was murder.
Right, that's first degree.
Well, here's the thing.
I can say I thought I was hitting the brakes.
It doesn't have to. Well, here's the thing. I'll even go deeper with you. If you did something reckless while driving a vehicle and killed somebody, it still can be negligent homicide. And I think that's what the charge possibly should have been.
This can't be negligence, bro, when she intentionally tried to shoot. The thing is trying to prove why.
I understand we believe that she did it on purpose, but what I'm saying from a DA perspective,
even from a DA, just think about it. You walk into a place that either you say is yours or whatever, wherever the fuck she thought she was. Her intent was to shoot.
I understand that, but if she can prove that she thought it was her apartment, she's still not justified, even though somebody was in her apartment. What they're saying is that she didn't have to shoot that person, so she's negligent in discharging her firearm. I don't know what the facts are.
Well, okay, let me ask y'all this. I think it was Bakari Sellers that said, what if the black guy would have stood his ground and shot her when she came into his house?
He'd be locked the fuck up.
That nigga would have got first degree murder. First degree or second degree.
Yeah.
She was a cop, right?
Yeah.
How many of y'all saw The Brothers? The old movie, The Brothers. D.L. Hughley, all those dudes. Y'all remember when Shamar Moore fiance was a police and she found out that nigga was fucking around and she was a police and she was outside the crib busting?
Yeah.
Same shit. Only thing is she ain't killed a nigga and it was a movie. Now real life, fast forward, she was a cop, she was scorned possibly, and she murked this man.
Yeah, I mean we got to be able to prove it though. But I think, I think manslaughter that's a definite charge. I mean,
ain't no fucking manslaughter, man. Y'all giving this bitch benefit of doubt.
I'm not giving
throwing Colin Kaepernick away.
I'm not. I'm saying that
saving a white woman again, bro.
Hell yeah,
dog. I'm saying that charge is. Listen to me. That charge. Look, that charge.
Hey, I heard what you said the first time, but there's nothing that you're gonna say that's gonna make me.
Take that cape off, CB.
Prime example. What did they tried to charge O.J. Simpson with first degree murder?
Look here, you trying to
he did that shit.
Different arguments about different situations.
The laws of the white man. Oh, come on. You gotta look at what first degree murder is. By law.
Yeah. And he got attempted manslaughter for stealing some shit that was his.
You need to understand what the fuck manslaughter is. That fuck what first degree murder is.
But the man got 9 years for they knew what they was doing with OJ.
But see, regardless of what they charge with, it's still got to be about sentencing. You know, I mean, they can give you first-degree murder and give you probation. You know what I mean? So regardless of what he's charged with, it's up to the judge of what they sentence her with.
No, manslaughter is a lesser charge because you're saying that it was without malice. So it was without intent. I did not mean to kill him. When she fucking fired her firearm, she meant to kill that motherfucker. It's not manslaughter, man. Will you stop fucking arguing this?
I want to know what was he doing in that process of her shooting him. Was he sitting
down,
like, what the fuck attacking her?
Here?
So I'm gonna jump off topic for a second, and CB gonna understand this, and I'm pretty sure Dawg and Roland heard about it. What's gonna happen to the Chicago cop Van Dyke if they find him not guilty, or they give him some bullshit light charge?
He gonna move out of town and go get a job being a cop in some other district?
Because Rahm Emanuel is not re-elected for a reason. Niggas gonna loot. Niggas gonna tear Chicago down if they find that white boy not guilty.
I think it's gonna happen too. What they charge him with?
Shit, might be manslaughter.
No,
man talking about
I don't
might
think
be
it's
manslaughter.
I don't think it's manslaughter.
Man said he feared for his life, but the man walking away.
I think they charging him with first-degree murder.
Well, they need to.
And
man,
I don't
the
think
kid walking away.
And I don't think that's gonna stick.
He feared his life.
He shot him 6 fucking times.
No, 16. A whole clip, bro, and he reloaded.
No, there's Glocks with 6 that shoot 16.
Yeah, he shot him the whole clip and reloaded while the kid was walking the other way. So yeah, I want to see him get out of this one. Chicago gonna be fucked up. I'm gonna be staying with Dawg or Roe. One of y'all niggas better screw over.
They gonna burn this bitch. They gonna burn this bitch down, boy.
Yeah, that shit about to be real.
I can't have no company for the record.
Oh shit.
If you're white and you're listening to this podcast, this is the argument that the white people will make. Why would they burn the city down when they don't burn it down when just last week 85 people was shot, 7 murdered?
Can I answer that, white man? White man, can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because so what you're saying is in one take, because I argue with white people a lot daily about this kind of stuff. And so in one take, you want me to respect the police, and then the next take, you're comparing police to criminals.
To gang
so you're saying that the police have the same mindset of criminals. That's what you're saying, Mr. White Guy? That's
you know what? I'm agreeing with you because I don't even know what their rebuttal would be because I'm not white.
Yeah.
So
on top of the fact,
earlier, I don't believe in black on black crime.
And you don't. Hey, Roller, you're not white. Hey, Roller, you're not white, and you don't play a good white guy on the podcast either.
Hey, Roland is Dave Chappelle and Undercover Brother.
Oh yeah, Undercover.
But you got to think of this too. Out of all the black on black crimes, how many of those guys that they actually found and arrest? But when the police killing, it's right there. It's on camera. It's on video. We watching you. We see your face on the newspaper the next morning.
Right.
And what happens? Nothing.
Need that. But a programming note because of what's going to happen starting next week. But I need that. Okay. This will be the last show that will be uploaded on Fridays. We are going to Mondays. Mondays will be our new day for Inside the Cave podcast. All right. It's going to actually work out better as far as actually promoting the show. We'll still record the same day we normally record, but the shows will be available after this episode will be on Mondays, Monday mornings. First thing Monday morning, Inside the Cave podcast, starting the week after this episode. I don't even know what today is. What's today's date?
The 12th.
The real date or the air date?
The day is the 12th. The air date is the 15th.
No, air date is 14th. Okay, so
14th.
starting September 24th, that'll be the new day for Inside the Cave. All right, it all makes sense next week once Velle makes sure everybody shows up. All right, it'll all start to make sense. But something big is going to happen. All right, it's going to expand the show. We need it. So, all right, special guests next week. I need everybody here. So programming note: September 24th will be the new start date a new upload date for Inside the Cave podcast moving forward after this episode. All right. And also, just like I said, these guys are already getting paid well enough. They don't need no W-2s from CB. Just want to put that out there. All right. Big
Shout
Dawg.
out to Trader Joe's, my job.
Big Dawg just
Hey, I told you one time.
All right. Go ahead.
I think I saw Dog on the episode of Pimp My Ride Out.
Hey, Velle, wrap this show up, man.
Say something else. Say something else, nigga. I'm gonna tie your old monkey ass up.
It's time for the wrap up. Wait, what?
Hey, man, I just want to say on behalf of the boys, I'm glad to be on the show today. I missed a couple episodes. And about time this show airs, I would like to be saying to my beautiful wife, DJ Envy Mode, happy 5th year of anniversaries. Happy 5-year anniversary. And again, when this show airs, I'll be celebrating my 5-year anniversary with my beautiful wife. Shout out to hashtag DJ Envy Mode, hashtag Kevin Hart, she's my rib.
Hey, you better off using the envy mode. I wouldn't use Kevin Hart.
Shout out to my wife though, man. We'll be out of town celebrating our 5-year anniversary. About the time this show is aired and y'all listening to it, and we appreciate y'all listening. And again, be ready for the new upcoming changes on the show.
No, wait. I said we need to do the wrap up.
Oh man, that is my wrap up for the day. It was too political today. I ain't had no wrap up. I got a lot going on right now.
Wait today, motherfucker.
Wait
for the wrap up.
Black people didn't come to work.
Oh, now that's the wrap up. Did Roland say black people ain't go to work that day? Wait, what? But the most important wait what of the day is, has Velle made it to 5 years married? Wait, what?
Yeah.
And that is the wrap up with your boy Velle.
The wrap up with Velle.
Ain't no stopping us.
Shout out to everybody that's married, man. Telling you, brother, it ain't easy, but it's worth it in the long run.
Shout out to my wife. You still here? Wait, what?
Hey, I got an uncle that tells my wife that every time he sees her, which is probably once or twice a year, he said, "Man, you still here, huh?" He tells her that. My wife asks, "What does he mean by that?" I said, "I don't know." He been saying it to her since the beginning. You still here? I was like, "Damn, that's my family."
Probably know you ain't shit.
All right. Well,
Hey,
that's my way.
I just got out to clink my damn self. I just got out of marriage jail, so that's why I'm on tonight. And when I get off,
I'm still on probation.
Yeah, when I get off, I got some shit I got to do. So, shout out to all the married cats out there.
Yeah, man.
Taking them lumps.
Started when you said I do, goddamn it.
Yeah, for real. It really does. It really, really does, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, Big Dawg, go ahead and get us out of here.
And like always, man, we want to thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Thank you for listening to Inside the Cave. The latest Cave Crush and Inside the Cave gear at cavecrushshop.com. Thought-provoking ignorance with special guests and cave crushers. Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave.
Inside the Cave.
You did say you wanted to be in, right?